For those of you that don't know, I'm Maggie, and today we are back with a big box full of empty products, and I don't know how this keeps happening every month. However, there are some products in here that are not completely empty. I ran into a lot of issues with deodorant, let me just say that, and I thought that I had found my perfect natural deodorant. I have been using it for years, and all of a sudden, crazy things happened. So anyway, let's dive right into it. The first empty, this is the Moroccan Gold Series Leavein mask. This says that it's intense care for all hair types, and this conditions, nourishes, and locks in moisture. It can reverse damage, dryness, and dullness, and it gently detangles your hair and restores manageability. I would completely agree with that. This stuff was so good. However, because it's kind of a smaller bottle, or at least it feels small, it's 4.2 fluid ounces, I feel like I flew through this because I loved the smell of it, I loved using it. This is what I kept reaching for. Now, what's awesome about this is that this came in FabFitFun, but it was never a customizable product. Like, I didn't have a say whether or not I could get this, I think. I think this is one of the items that FabFitFun just chose for us and stuck in the box. And so this was a massive hit. However, when I was going to look up how much this cost, I was very surprised to see that it was $39. So, while I do highly recommend it, I think it's a great product. Are there other detangling sprays, leave-in conditioners that you can get for cheaper that are just as effective? Yes. But if you've had your eye on this, or maybe you've never even heard of this brand and you're looking to try something new, this is something that I would put my name behind because I thought this did a great job and left the perfect, just kind of light smelling Moroccan oil signature-esque scent in your hair. It was so good. I keep messing with my hair because I used my smaller curling iron today and I think it's just a little too intense for my shorter hair and I'm not loving it. So I'm sorry if I'm touching my hair a lot in this video. But next up I have the Murad Hydration Prebiotic 3-in-1 Multi-Mist. This I used pretty much exclusively as a setting spray, but not even to make my makeup last longer or anything. I tend to reach for powdery type products, and so to make sure that everything just looks less powdery, less cakey and stuff, I tend to like to spray some sort of moisture mist on my face. I like a ton of them, but I truly don't love any sort of setting spray that is meant to hold your makeup in place. I think it feels weird on my face, and oftentimes, or at least the Scandinavia one that I have right now, those types of sprays leave like blotches or splotches all over my face and kind of mess up some of my makeup. That happened on my wedding day actually, and I was not pleased with it, but I had run out of this. They say that you can use this in the morning and at night. I would just use this once a day, and I really loved this. The actual sprayer on this bottle well, I'm completely out of it so I can't show you, but it had the finest mist that sprayed over your face very evenly, and it was just such a pleasure to use. I've recently just started using kind of a rose toner to act as the same thing because I feel like those rose toners don't do much for me in the way of toning, and so I've just been using it as just an added layer of moisture after applying powdery makeup, and it's been great. But this stuff was really, really good. Did I notice any effects from like the prebiotic elements of this? Not really. And this is also a rather expensive spray. This is $32, and I feel like, again, there are cheaper things out there, but this one is really good. Y'all have heard me talk about this one a time or two. This is the Paulas Choice Resist Perfectly Balanced Foaming Cleanser. So many wonderful things to say about this cleanser. The only con about this is that I bought it in a size too small. This is their 6.4 fluid ounce, and I think that they make one that's like 11 ounces if I remember correctly. It's the jumbo bottle. It also comes with a pump. I just bought the wrong one last time, so I did run through this a little quicker than normal, but on the whole, this does take a long time to go through. One pump does the job. You do not need to have multiple pumps. A little goes a long way. And like I've mentioned a million times before, because I'm a broken record when it comes to her cleansers, they effectively remove makeup. I don't feel like I need a two-step cleansing process, even though I know that it's allegedly better for your skin and gets your makeup off more, but I mean, I have been using this for years and years and years and just can't get enough of it. Her Resist line is all about anti-aging. However, this is just a very gentle, basic cleanser. None of her products have fragrance. It's all pretty basic. It just gets the job done. I already have another one of these sitting on my bathroom counter. I can never be without her cleansers. And recently I noticed that they came out with like a points program or a rewards program. You can create an account and then you can get different prizes on your birthday, or after you spend so many dollars you get like additional free product or something like that. So if you're somebody who has really tried a lot of Paula's Choice items because of how much I've talked about them and how much I've adored them for years, I think it's definitely worth signing up for this new perks program because it's some pretty good perks. Yes, the Billie Sudsy Body Wash. If you have not seen it already, I did an entire rundown of all of Billy's products in its own video, so I'll be sure to link that in the eye and in the description box down below. And this was one of those products that I was like, if you only buy like one thing from this line, this could be one of them. I absolutely loved this stuff. It is super duper sudsy. It's made with shea butter and grapefruit, so the smell on it is subtle but very pleasant, very, very good. And it worked really well with my silicone loofah from Bowie. And truth be told, I love that loofah. It has done a lot to help me eliminate waste in that space. However, you do have to use kind of a sudsier product on that loofah, in my opinion, for it to be the most effective. And so this sudsy body wash paired perfectly with it. It's a big bottle. It's 12 fluid ounces and it costs $9. And Billy also sells a shave cream. However, it says on the back of this bottle, creamy enough to shave with. And so if you're somebody like me who does not traditionally ever buy shave cream, I'll just reach for whatever's in the shower, whether that be a bar of soap or conditioner or body wash, and I'll use that as my shave cream. So I love that this is a good multitasking product. I did go through it rather quickly, but I can totally see myself repurchasing this. I really, really liked it, and it would be easy to add on to my Billy like razor subscription that comes every 3 months or so. So it's a very convenient thing for me to get. If you've been looking into it, pull the trigger. It's so good. This is a very interesting empties because as I held this up, I feel like it's very shower and hair heavy. I don't know, very interesting. Zero makeup to talk about today, but this next thing is the Trader Joe's Grapefruit Ginger Sugar Scrub. When I was looking this up to link it for y'all, I noticed that there was some article talking about this being discontinued. However, it's okay because this wasn't my favorite thing ever. What's interesting is this was available in the summertime, but to me, this smells just like Christmas time. It has a very heavy gingery scent, not very heavy on the grapefruit. So if you don't like ginger scents, if you don't like kind of those warm, spicy scents, you're not gonna like the smell of this. I did kind of like the application method. I liked that you could squeeze the scrub out of the bottle like directly onto your leg and rub, and you didn't have to dip your wet hand into a jar to get the scrub, because I always find myself trying to like dump out the excess water. I don't know, I think that jars are kind of a clumsy packaging choice for the shower. So I did really like this packaging. However, the scrub was like too thick. It was suspended in a lot of thick jelly kind ofness. Jelly's a bad word, but it wasn't as loose and able to like rub around on your body as easily as my other favorite Trader Joe's body scrub. That's the lavender one that does come in the jar. So there is a trade-off to have this packaging. It did its job. I just don't think it is half as effective as those ones that come in the jar from Trader Joe's. So I'm very proud, and my dentist would be too, that I've finally been through this Oral-B satin floss. I love this kind. I do not like the super waxy types of floss that when you get it down into your gums, it feels like it's gonna rip your tooth out. I hate that type of floss. I have to have something that glides really easily. It's already a painful process for me to floss in general. I think everybody on the planet hates flossing, and so I want it to be an enjoyable experience, or at least as enjoyable as this task can be. So I've had this for a long time. I have another one that I just opened just like it. Again, it's that satin floss, and I feel like anytime it says that and it's maybe like the thicker ribbon, that's the kind you should go for if you have the same taste in floss as me. Last thing before I get into my deodorant fiasco, and this was actually one of Brian's empty products, but I wanted to share because I ended up having to use this when I ran out of that Billy body wash for a little while, and I really liked this stuff. This is the Harry's body wash. It's in the scent Shiso, which is a refreshing scent of fresh herbs. Don't be scared when you hear fresh herbs. This is a very like shower fresh, it's kind of a masculine scent, but I feel like at the same time it could almost be gender neutral. But I really liked this. I think that it got really sudsy. Brian also uses that Bowie scrubber thing, and he likes the way that this works with it as well. This scent we really liked, but he's now moved on to the one with the blue top that's called Stone. But you can find this at Target, where they carry a lot of the Harry's products, and he's been very pleased with this and their shaving cream, and he also has their face wash in our shower right now. So he gives a big thumbs up to this line. So if your boyfriend or husband or anyone in your life is looking to try some new body wash, this is a good one. Okay, on to the deodorant calamity. As most of you know, if you've watched me before, the Schmidt's Lavender and Sage Natural Deodorant has been my favorite for years. I did a couple of videos on natural deodorant way back. I want to say in like 20 2018 maybe? I don't know. I'll link them for you. This was the overwhelming winner for me because I love that it has arrowroot powder. I think that while it's not an antiperspirant, it did a pretty good job of soaking up that sweat with the arrowroot powder. I never felt like a sweaty mess with this. I loved the lavender and sage scent. While this was a little tough to get used to texture-wise at first because you do kind of have to like be patient with it and let it warm up under your arm for a little bit because it can be a little scratchy. Out of the blue one day, I put this on and it was not even freshly after I had shaved, which I've learned my lesson with this before. I kind of have to give it an hour or two after I shave and then put deodorant on, and it's never a big deal. But not even after I shaved one day, I started getting the itchiest armpits. It was so uncomfortable. It was almost like a burning sensation. And I went and looked in the mirror and I had red bumps all over my underarm. Now, if I were wearing a sleeveless shirt, I could show you that I still have one almost scar. It's like a red, very sensitive, very tender bump left over from this whole situation that hasn't gone away after like 2 to 3 weeks, which is a little bit concerning. Figured out that this was the issue and stopped using it. And as soon as I switched over to the Schmidt's Sensitive, those bumps started to go away. So this formula for sensitive skin does not have that super scratchy kind of arrowroot powder feel in the application. This mimics much more what you're used to in a traditional deodorant. It's just that kind of creamy stick. While I do like this deodorant and I like the application and I think it feels good under my arms and it's not creating any sort of rash like this one, I still don't like this one because the jasmine tea scent, which I've talked about in the past, sours on me over time. It's just not a good deodorant scent. And I think it's a real shame because this formula is working on me, but I ultimately end up smelling bad because of the actual fragrance of this, if that makes any sense. This is one that I'm sure that I featured in a product empties before and then didn't have the heart to throw away because it was completely full. So I was like, I'm gonna give it some time and try it again, but no. Like, I stand by what I said in that previous video. This is not a good scent for deodorant, at least with how it reacts with my own body chemistry. So switched to using a Love Beauty Planet deodorant that I had gotten free as just like a free product that came with a FabFitFun once, I think. It's kind of a coconut oil based deodorant and it's working on me just fine, but it's not my favorite formula. So what I think I wanna try next is a regular deodorant on the market that's not antiperspirant, because I think at this point, most people have heard aluminum and putting that on and letting it soak into your body every day can be toxic over time. Will that one act be the thing that kills you? No, but if you know that something's bad for you, why do you continue to do it kind of thing? So, and I honestly am so disappointed because I loved these for so long. I've recommended these a million different times and I don't know if they just had one bad batch that had too many chemicals in it or something. I have no idea, but I'm a little too scared to try this again. So I've got to go back to the drawing board and test out some new deodorants. So expect a video on more natural deodorants soon because yikes. And one more deodorant to talk about that I'm getting rid of because it is an antiperspirant and I'm just not willing to put the aluminum under my arms. This is the Dove Dry Spray Invisible. It's in their sheer fresh scent and this scent is horrible. To me, this smells too much like just traditional baby powder kind of deodorant and I cannot stand that. While I thought that this spray deodorant was effective, I hated the smell, and again, I'm just not willing to put the aluminum under my arms every day. So this one's gonna go. And I think this came in one of those $5 Target beauty boxes. It was this full-size product, which is a really great value because I think that this cost somewhere around the $5 mark alone, and there were like 4 or 5 other products in that box. So anyway, something to look into if you haven't ever tried out those Target beauty boxes, but gotta say goodbye to this. All right, that is everything. Those are all of the product empties that I have to share for the month of August. And if you like these types of videos and you're just in the mood to watch a bunch of them, I'll include the playlist to all of my product empties in the description box down below so that you can check that out. If you like this video, then like it, stick around, subscribe, join the community, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.